All right. Hey, Rob.
Jazz Bum Mike is bored. That's why we're streaming right now.
Yes, and I don't know how long we'll go for, but we will either lead in or just promote surface noise.
Yeah, go
So,
to Chance. Support Chance.
so tonight they got going. What is going on over here? So he is doing a deep dive into. It's an artist interview. Is that what this is?
I guess maybe if he sees that we're live right now and runs over here to yell at us,
Okay, good.
he can promote his live stream.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So to the two people that are watching right now, run over there and watch this after. So, I mean, I always have, hey, it's not a live stream until AZ Mick chimes in the chat.
There we go.
Let's wait. Let's find out about AZ Mick. We know he likes. I'm trying to remember. Is it ham sandwiches?
Oh, yeah.
AZ Mick, your favorite 80s TV show. What is it? I hope you're old to have an 80s TV show.
So, Rob, I pulled out those Art Pepper Records CDs that you sent me.
Yeah.
So long ago, and I'm going to check these out. These are next to my queue. So this is West Coast Session. So that's Art Pepper with Lee Konitz.
Yeah. So look those up because I think some might have come out in Japan on vinyl, but these are what Omnivore has a relationship with his widow, and they put out like at least 6 or 7 of these.
Yeah.
West Coast Sessions.
Yeah. And so anyway, so the rhythm section on this is Michael Lang, Bob Magnuson, and John Dentz, who I'm not too familiar with, but they're playing with. But so this one is Art Pepper with Lee Konitz, and then this one is Art Pepper with Sonny Stitt.
Yeah, that came out on vinyl in Japan. Hey,
so I'm going to check these out.
Don't tell anyone, but I have good authority. I mean, Omnivore put out a live Art Pepper CD. Early in February, but there's word on the street is there's an Art Pepper vinyl coming out.
Okay,
that's the street talking.
Cool. They should do the Village Vanguard. They should at least do Volume 1 or whatever Thursday night.
They don't.
Whatever the best night is.
They don't have the rights to that. They have the rights to whatever the widow has in their library, which I think they recorded every show they did. Their live show.
If Kraft put out a box like the Japanese box, I think that would be different enough that it could sell, and it would open up people to that era of Art Pepper, which is different.
I mean, the Galaxy, that's the best era of Art Pepper.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning records. I'm gonna probably do an auction a week from Saturday. I have so much good stuff, but I was cleaning stuff, and it's a problem when I find something, I'll go put in the auction. Then I listen to it. Then I discover who's on it. And I'm keeping this. So I found this for like $5. It's a Japanese pressing.
Okay.
So on here, the Jazz Tet on piano is Harold Mayburn. And on trombone is Gretchen Moncour III.
That's cool. Because usually trombone is Curtis Fuller, right? With Jazz Tet?
Yeah, it's usually Curtis Fuller. But on this, it's Gretchen Moncour. Herbie Lewis is on this. And I'm forgetting who the last person is. Oh, AZ Mixtona Seinfeld. Thank you, AZ Mix.
Okay.
That's his favorite 80s show. But actually, Seinfeld's not really 80s. It's 90s. AZ Mick, what are we going to do with you? You failed at a simple task. So this is a kick-ass short. I think it's like a 34-minute record. Kick-ass, good. I would say, I think the Jazz Tet you could easily say is cheap heat. I don't think any other records go for crazy money.
Yeah, Jazz Tet is pretty. I think their first session is probably 57.
It's Argo, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's that one.
I have a lot of Jazz Tet records, but you could easily do the Jazz Tet Cheap Heat. This is a killer record. It's really good. Okay.
Oh.
He's pulling out all his Jazz Tet records. Mine are scattered throughout my.
I only have, well, I have like a few of this grouping. They're not all Jazz Tet though. But
I think that's like a must-have record. I think maybe.
So this is 1960. So it's 1960.
Yeah, with McCoy Tyner on piano.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I thought it was earlier, but it's a nice copy. I think it's the mono, right? Yeah, there's a stereo copy.
Did anyone have on their VC bingo card Nick Pandisi going after AZ Mick?
Argo. So Argo, for other people who aren't jazz obsessed, is part of the Chess family, which is why Chess has a label that looks just like that, right?
I don't know why they changed the name.
No, I feel like they just did it for their jazz, but I was just saying the label.
No, they changed the name from Argo, not to Chess. They changed it to,
Cadet. Yeah, I know the reason why.
Why?
So the lore is, these are like things that people just say and no one ever confirms, but there's Argo in the UK. They are mostly a classical label, and there's some pretty nice stuff on that label. I heard they are the reason why Argo US changed their name.
Because they wanted to release their records in the UK?
Yeah, and the thing is, when you look at those labels like Decca in the UK, when they came to the US, there was already a Decca, so they used London, which is why those Londons are Deccas, and those Deccas are really expensive. Anyway, long story short, there's been conflicts before where people had to change their names.
Who's on first? Hey, I found another record. I had a killer day the other day, and I found another record, but Jazz Bum Mike called dibs on this.
Sweet.
But I have to find my other copy and compare them. This is pretty nice.
Okay.
This Mike White, and I'd say a fair price for this is probably
$100.
No, I think $80 is a fair price for this, but it could go anyway. I think my other copy has very slight noise, but it really doesn't affect the play. So I'll find it, and we'll make a situation.
Well, hold on. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on with this thing. Okay, so let's look. Looks like there was really one quad pressing, and then there's a promo.
The neon label.
I wonder if that's different.
Vinyl Me Please reissued it a couple years ago.
So yeah, so median is 100 even, and there's a copy for 80. So we were pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And what else?
Yeah, no one wants to know how much I found this for. Nowhere near any of that money.
Okay. Well, let's look at how much is the promo. There's some promos for a little more.
But someone's trying to charge more than it goes for. Well, I think getting my original copy. Yeah.
That's the VMP. But so scarcity now.
Someone's trying to charge for that. I think, honestly, I bought my copy last year for $50. I found it for $50. Okay. 40 or 50.
Okay. So yeah, the VMP is it's about on par with the OG.
It's a great spiritual jazz record.
Yeah, I do want a copy.
And reports back, if you watch the video Mike and I did on Monday, I opened the sealed copy, and it's not warped. Some people speculated it might have been warped. And this record sounds fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
No surprise. I would have to say, if someone held a gun to my head, which many of you might want to do, late 60s, Jackie McLean, it's where it's at. That I feel like I would love to have seen him live during this period, because I feel like you got your money's worth. They're playing hard and heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like generally his Blue Note stuff is all pretty amazing. I think it's much better than
some of his steeplechase stuff is kick-ass.
His Prestige stuff is good, and I have a good amount of it, but his Blue Note stuff I definitely like.
I think from 66 on to about 76, he was playing kick-ass shit.
Yeah.
And the 70s stuff is mostly steeplechase, like his large groupings on steeplechase.
Yeah. Sorry.
Kick ass.
Trying to find. I have his first record, the ad lib, but not the ad lib pressing, the Jubilee pressing.
Well, no, I found a Chinese of that. That stuff's all good. And
That's okay. That's okay.
I have it, but that him playing. Okay, so here's another one I found. This record everyone should get. Okay, I'm going to tell you how I got this. What Mike throws up in a bucket right now.
Anyway, I'll show that.
Yeah, so this record, at least when I bought it, the In Groove has a section where he's discounted a lot of stuff, and this record was independently done, I think, on CD in '86 or '87. It's, by the way, it's Sonny Fortune, Billy Harper, Stanley Cowell, Reggie Workman, and Billy Hart. It's a double LP, and then Pure Pleasure reissued it. So I have to think they got their hands on the tapes for this. This is fucking kick-ass. So I think double record, it's $60. I found In Groove had it for $40.
I'm not totally sure Pure Pleasure gets the tapes, because when we spoke with Chet,
but that's with the Strata East. This I gotta feel I mean, we could look it up on Discogs, what someone might have found out. But this sounds excellent. I mean, a lot of Pure Pleasure stuff sounds good.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this.
Pure Pleasure has I like their taste in what they select to reissue. Like them and Keyvine, I feel like they do some pretty cool stuff. And it's kind of in that same vein. But that looks amazing.
It really is. And this is very good. I go there and see if they still have Mike has this. Yeah. Because I highly recommend this record.
They put 3 L's in Billy's name on the cover. Does it say Billy with an extra L?
No, I think you need a new prescription. Oh, you mean there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Pure
Come
Pleasure.
on, Pure Pleasure.
And I think this is probably a needle drop on a CD now, based on that.
Yeah. All right, let me switch it back to this. So anyway, so Jackie McLean had this record come out, and I guess it was, let's say when it's recording. They're probably recording in 56, but anyway, this is the Jubilee reissue. It's his first record, and he has Mal Waldron on it with Doug Watkins and Ronald Tucker drums, who I'm not too familiar with. But Mal Waldron, Doug Watkins, and Jackie. It's pretty good from what I remember.
I picked it up a couple weeks ago, Japanese. If that record's very affordable, the Japanese pressing of it, and it's good. And
I think the Jubilee isn't the quietest vinyl. If I remember correctly.
No, we talked about this. I have the Ray Draper with John Coltrane on Jubilee, and it sounds fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like really clean.
Also, there's the Paul Chambers record you could pick up on Jubilee too.
Yeah, with old records like this, you have to look in the dead wax and see how mirrory it is, because they'll use recycled vinyl on like these like little labels. They'll put a bunch of really, shitty sounding vinyl out. So, but anyway, this does look clean. So, but it's kind of hard to tell, but you can definitely tell if you look at that dead wax, you can definitely see if there's like specks, like little tiny, tiniest little specks.
That's
it's really
vinyl.
You need like some good light, but you can see, and actually this does have a little bit on it. So, anyway, but it's not too much. This, I don't know, it'll sound fine. Anyway, Nick Fantasy knows.
Hey, I got to talk about this one too. So I saw someone posted this on social media, and I remember seeing it at a record store I go to, so I picked it up. So this is a reissue from 1998.
Okay.
But the original from 1972 is considered a rare gem. The Johnny Lewis Quartet, where it was a fixture in Seattle.
Okay.
And this is a jazz funk record, and it really is very good.
Okay.
And this was put out by Ubiquity, which I don't know them. And George Horn mastered this, who did a lot of the fantasy OJC records.
Yep.
So this is very good. I highly recommend it. If you can find it, if you live in the Pacific Northwest and find an OG copy of it, you score gold. But I mean, as silly as this picture looks, that's how good it is. So there you go on that one.
Cool.
And then, do you want to see the king of what I found probably so far this year, I think?
All right, let's see it.
I found a Liberty stereo pressing of I Am Blue. In my auction, I had an Applause reissue from the 80s. So I'm selling that, but this is very nice. This is the lineup is Johnny Coles, Joe Henderson, obviously Grant Green, John Patton, and Ben Dixon. This is so good.
Can you show the back of the cover of that real quick? Okay.
So it originally came out in 63, but this is a 66 Liberty pressing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the deal is, because I was almost afraid this was a Japanese pressing, but it is not.
You know, it's funny. There isn't even a listing for the one you have.
No, there's no listing for this. Yeah.
Yeah, because that jacket that's the Liberty jacket, but every Liberty pressing is matched with the pre-Liberty jacket.
Wait. There is a listing. Go to 66. There's 2 listings.
Hold on. Okay. There's a bunch. So here's all 66 has 3 listings.
Okay.
So look, you see the back of the jacket where it says stereo here?
Oh, okay.
So yours does not have that. So this is an original jacket.
No, but it says stereo on the front.
Yeah. But you could just. But anyway, all the Liberties have that jacket. Have the OG jacket.
It's Van Gelder and the Deadwax. So I don't. But what's the deal with the very deep blue label? That might be something.
Yeah, I have some of those. I don't know. They might be like the West Coast pressing, or who knows?
Yeah, but usually with the West Coast, there's no Van Gelder.
Well, I think it depends. That depends. Sometimes there isn't. You're right, but sometimes, like, I don't know. I mean, it could be an East Coast pressing too.
That's a good record, by the way. I mean, I think it came out. Did this come out as a Music Matters?
Probably.
I don't know.
So anyway, we're leading into surface noise, special surface noise tonight. It looks like
he needs to pay if we're doing this.
He is paying. So I'm going to drop a link to surface noise, and I think they got a lot going on tonight, so will be cool.
Yeah, actually, I think they're gonna have a death match, cage match, at the end of it.
Okay. So anyway. That starts top of the hour. So I don't know how long we'll go.
Look who it is. It's the vampire Ryan Anderson, who's never around in the mornings. So the whole point of the stream was Mike was bored, and you have to give.
Well, I thought you'd have some records to show. Do you have any others?
Do. I mean, I can keep showing records.
Let's go.
Okay.
Only jazz.
Well, I did pick up non-jazz, but here's one that I have not shown because it was on sale. So I picked it up. This box set is on sale for a deep discount at Sundays.
Okay.
So Sundays, this is a soundtrack to a movie that I thought was a documentary, but it is not. This Sun Ra and his Intergalactic Solar Orchestra, Space is the Place, which is a term that Mike says, like Tourette's. And in this box, you get... Do you want me to open it? I haven't even opened it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so I'll pull up some of the details here. So what is the name of that box? So it's Sun Ra, Space is the Place?
Go to Sundays because they're selling it for cheap.
Okay, let me see. Here it is.
Here's George.
All right.
So it's got a hype sticker.
here's the Sun Ra Sundays link.
Yeah, go there and get the. It also they're sending it out with a
it's
free.
Out of stock. It says it's out of stock, Rob.
People bought it out. They also sent what I thought was going to be a gigantic poster. Is just this free poster. They made it seem like it was going to be big. Okay, cool. I'm going to get a big poster. And they send this postage stamp.
That's cool though.
Okay, let's open and see what's inside. George, I'm going to remove it. I'll save the hype sticker, but there's no way you can open this without doing some damage, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the what this was going for was like 150 or 140, something like that. So I guess no one bought it and they discounted it. Come on, man. Open. Here it goes. All right, the hype sticker is surviving. All right. So it's kind of pizza box-ish. I have to use the George again to open this part. Okay. Pizza box. Oh. So what you get inside, everything is inside a little bag.
Okay. Very nice.
And it's very pizza boxy. Okay, what's in here in this little bag? You get 3 LPs.
Nice.
So let's look at the covers. This. And on this one, I think it's just music from the soundtrack.
All right. Also, I actually don't know if it's sold out because I had the CD set pulled up. The CD is sold out, so I'm going to double check.
Gray. This is on gray vinyl.
Okay.
Then.
Oh my gosh, it's $31.25.
It's still available.
It's still available. It's $30.
Yeah, $30. What was the original price they have there?
$125.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the next one. Still, I think these are songs from the soundtrack. And then these are unreleased songs from the soundtrack on this one. Oh, wait, I didn't show the color of this vinyl. This one is kind of gold.
Okay.
And then this one is green. Okay. There's more.
What else?
There's a nice booklet.
Okay.
And there is a DVD of the movie. So this is not a documentary. This is a full-fledged film with starring Sun Ra. And I watched a clip of it, and the dude has no acting training whatsoever.
So you know where the lacquers were cut for this? Coherent.
So it's Kevin Gray.
So Kevin Gray, KTG.
So you get a DVD and a Blu-ray of the film.
Cool.
And it's really Sun Ra wandering around a mystical interplanetary place, and he's, talking about his stuff.
So did they have anything else on sale when you ordered that?
Yeah, there's tons of stuff on sale. I mean, they have the rights to a lot of Sun Ra stuff.
Yes, so that Modern Harmonic is putting that out.
Yeah, they put out a lot of. I have several of the Sun Ra stuff, and there was a period of time, if you bought over $100 worth of stuff, you got a free test pressing. So I got like a Sun Ra test pressing.
So check this out. So under vinyl, they have bundles, box sets, yada yada yada, and then way out there, and that's here. So this is their Sun Ra stuff.
Yeah, I would pick up. I mean, there's that poster. You think it's going to be gigantic? It comes free with the box, I think. Still.
This looks cool. This looks like an L Saturn. Cool.
I think that might be the one I have the test pressing of. So pick it up. It's good. Cool. The movie, you watch the movie and understand that Sun Ra is not a trained actor.
All right, we got Chance in the house. So Concert Buddy, they're live streaming, as everybody knows, at the top of the hour, and they got a bunch of stuff going on. So make sure to check that out. We'll lead you guys in.
Hey, when I was out shopping and picking up lots of good records, I found a record that for Concert Buddy. So I mailed it to him yesterday. And I'll let Concert Buddy reveal what record it is. But it had his name written all over it.
All right, this is the official Concert Buddy YouTube channel link.
Right. And also, just so we can write off this live stream as we're helping the elderly, Mazzy's joining us.
Well, I got a link. Is there emergency? Are tanks rolling into Connecticut? What's going on?
We're just bored.
Jazz Bum Mike's bored.
With America? What's that? The Clash song? I'm so bored with the USA.
There you go.
Hi.
Welcome.
Oh God, I couldn't get my hat together. Sorry.
So, Mazzy, did I hear your live stream on Saturday, a tribute to Billy Jones? Did I hear that right?
The 21st.
The 21st. Okay.
I don't know exactly what time. I'm thinking it's going to be around 7 or 8 Eastern time. It's Dom and I are hosting. People up and coming through. In the evening. And because of that, I got an email and then I forwarded it to Don. We got a really nice short email. I won't get into the details, but from Billy's father, and said he wanted connections to Dom, which I hooked them up because they were apparently, when he was sick at the end, his father was taking care of him. And this isn't anything private, but and they were watching Dom's videos and enjoying it. So hopefully maybe his father will either watch or come up and visit if he's up for it. We'll see.
Well, I wanted to find contact information because his parents, I think, they live in Richmond, Virginia.
I don't know.
We would talk about that. So
yeah. Don't go after his record collection, please.
They sold
Too
it
soon.
off.
Too soon. Anyway, that'll be fun. I'm gonna try to come if I can.
Everyone's invited. We'll announce it. We'll put a promo up, but it'll be on the 21st, probably 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific. So that is 7 or 8 Eastern, give or take.
Cool. And Joe, you just posted a Billy video.
Yeah, part of the video was it was a tribute to Billy. So yeah, it was obviously very sad news to hear about him, and I knew him. I met him a few times, and so it was tough.
What a spirit, right? I mean, a lot of us, at least 3 out of the 4 of us, or half of us on the left side of the screen are bitter people. You guys are cooler or nicer, and
hold on.
You're bitter.
When I communicate with Jazz Bum Mike all the time, you will never meet a more bitter person.
No, but he is literally the sweetest guy, always upbeat, had fun with records, and watching these videos that we've shot in the past, not knowing how sick he was or becoming, the way he talked about his collection and moving it on and recycling it makes a little sense now if you look at it from a certain perspective. So
he's just an amazing person. I mean, I didn't know all about his history within the venue space, and the fact that he opened up a shop in Williamsburg and it was that successful. I mean, just an amazing ability to, I don't know, create an environment around him that was just amazing.
Yeah, he talked to us when we were in, Rob and I and Kimbo shared a Airbnb in Austin with him, and he is in the process then of working on a new venue with another music venue, not a record store, but in Manhattan. I don't know what's become of that. I'm sure with the other partners.
I think it did open. I thought that did open.
Did it open? Yeah.
Yeah, I think what he wanted to do, and I'm not 100% if it did open, was another kind of multi-use place that did sell records. I'm not 100% that happened. My communication with him kind of fell off in December. I did reach out to him in February with no response.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But we communicated regularly, and then in December, nothing really happened after that. So,
aside from his store, the second best thing of that night was beating Alex Diamond Marimba at chess. I love that.
Oh yeah, I was in my element. We'll save this for Saturday.
Yeah. Right.
But that's very cool.
What's the point of the stream? You invited me.
Literally, we were just bored.
Okay.
Mike was bored. I was fine.
I've been diving into CDs a lot more. So anyway, I pulled out a bunch of stuff, but
can we talk about
CDs?
I'm gonna get CDs in the mail, but I ordered them. So there's this P-Vine company with every day. I don't like them. I've owned some of their stuff and it's just okay. But the fact that most of their stuff is needle drops and they kind of bury the information, you have to open the package to see that.
Isn't a lot of that the gospel stuff they do too?
No, they do. I mean, they might do that, but they do jazz. A lot of jazz stuff. Yeah, but they don't, in their description, they're not open the sourcing, which if it sounds good, I'm okay. And the stuff sounds all right. But I don't like that secretive stuff. And somehow they got the vinyl rights to this company, Maple Shade, which was a guy whose offices are actually in the town I grew up in, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He was a guy who worked, I think, for the government, and his hobby was jazz, and he recorded performances. So there's this Clifford Jordan record that was at Ethel's, which was a club in Baltimore, and people got the CD, the original CD, and Notes and Tones is here. He could speak to it. I can't. Yeah. So have you listened to that yet?
Yeah, there's vocals on it.
Okay.
They do Lush Life.
How does it sound? How does it sound? So, and it's cheap. Even the original, even Maple Shade has a website where they're still selling it for like $16, but you can pick that up for under $10.
Who's singing?
I did.
Is it Ethel Waters?
It's probably
it doesn't attribute it, so I don't know who it is.
It's probably him.
Is it a female or a male?
It's probably Clifford Jordan.
Oh,
Mike, Notes and Tones, do you know?
Harry has the CD. So here's the point I wanted to get to. It's an interesting story. They put out about 20 CDs of different packs. The one I purchased with this, because this guy had a couple of them, was a Clifford. Was a Cecil Payne record, right? Big band. And it was recorded in 97. Let me look this up.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
It's Clifford singing.
So it's very interesting because this record, I'm pulling up, sorry. It's Clifford Jordan, big band. Okay, I'm wrong. And it was recorded in 97. And the lineup of people that are on this is crazy. But there's one particular person that I think to me is an anomaly. Or I don't know how much is known about John Jenkins. So we know that he put out a Blue Note record that's, if you find an original, that's $1 billion. I have the Music Matters. But he quit in 65. He stopped. And I read a little on his Wikipedia that he kind of got by selling at swap meets and stuff. And I think later, closer to his death, he picked back up playing again, and he was playing on the street. And he's on. This is the last recording of him on anything. He's on this Clifford Jordan big band CD, but he's also Dizzy. Yeah, that record.
An original is really expensive.
I have a story about an original of that, but there's a 1971 too. You can get it at.
Oh,
I have a copy of that.
Of Jazz Eyes?
Yeah.
Oh no, of the Kenny Burrell one.
You have a Plastilite pressing?
No, I have the 72 UA mono of that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so but who's on this live record? With Charles Davis, John Jenkins, Ronnie Matthews, Benny Powell, Dizzy Reese. There's a ton of other people on this too.
What year is that?
Junior Cook. This is 97, but Maple Shade put this out, this CD.
Is it the same John Jenkins? I guess it is.
Yes.
Yeah?
He came back and played on it after being gone for 30 years, and then he passed away not long after this.
Yeah, most of his discography was from like 57. There's like 57, 58, like all of the ones that Mike just flashed.
Yeah, these are all 57.
And then he kind of just like
he
disappeared.
Quit. He quit in 65. He just quit.
Yeah. So this is yours.
So this is his last appearance on anything, but after like 30 years of not being recorded.
Right.
So Mike, the future is CDs.
And you said, Rob, you said that just came out on CD for the first time?
No, it's been out on CD.
Oh, it's been out. Okay.
But go order it, because right now it's cheap. Like I got it for $6. Mm-hmm. And Harry here is saying these sound really good. That's the guy. Also,
has anybody listened to the CD version of this?
I have 3 copies of that CD because I found them.
Send me one. I had a nice conversation with him the other day. We had a 2-hour private conversation, like a hangout.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
I haven't listened to this CD yet. I'm just opening it now. It's really, I mean, everything he did was very like well done. Like the quality of the jackets are nice.
Right.
Anyway,
I think he's doing a second printing on the vinyl.
Where the hell?
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, why did your voice go so high when you said that?
Because it named certainly. It happens.
I have 3 copies of. I'll send you one of the CDs.
When I don't wear my hat, my voice is higher.
Oh, look. Okay, so here. So it's gatefold. Very nice.
Nice.
He just did everything really well done.
Not bad for a drummer. I mean, right?
Yeah, and I think he may have put out 1 record or 2 records before this, but yeah. Anyway,
well done. It's a really good record too. Has anyone gotten the Corey Weeds record?
No, but I do want to get it. It's
me too.
I will say this: we went to that audio show this weekend, and we went into a room where they had all the coherent records set up, and they were playing the Corey Weeds record, and it sounded.
What did you think?
I keep forgetting to order it. I need to. Hey Siri, buy Corey Weeds from the In-Groove for me.
I have the files because we
use Chat GPT to answer that.
No.
No problem. I will.
That's Kate sale, by the way.
One day that's gonna work.
Right. I'm sure it does. I don't want that to work. Please give me your 4-digit PIN number, please. You want a secondary false failsafe, so you don't just like buy me 10 copies of whatever.
Yeah, so I do want to get that Corey Weeds record. I have the files, and it sounds great. It's a really I don't know, classic Blue Note style session. It sounds fantastic.
So P-Vine put out the big band Clifford Jordan record too.
But don't they? I think John Digital Gramophone sent me some gospel stuff from P-Vine. Am I wrong about that? Anybody know?
I don't know. You probably did.
Yeah.
Really good. I love gospel stuff. So almost more than that jazz shit stuff. You know, I mean, I like gospel.
Hey, in my auction, Mazzy, I found what's the Thornton, Mama Thornton, Big Mama Thornton, an Arhoolie record, a 1981 pressing. That'll be in my auction.
Cool. Those don't go for a lot, but they're great records.
Actually, this one goes for a lot.
But like 25, more than $25?
Yeah, like around
Wow.
that
Okay.
that to like $40.
I like
Even
Mahalia
this-
Jackson's shoot too. Yeah.
Mazzy, do you have any OG blues records?
Not a lot. I mean, it depends. In terms of like our Hooli, yes, and Smithsonian, some stuff. I don't have like really rare old blues records.
I
got
some.
stuff from the 60s and 70s originals, but I don't have like going way back to the like.
I have some John Lee Hooker OGs, but
Yeah,
this
most
is
of the stuff, when the British rock revival, all those British people started, Clapton and Beck and everyone, were doing the blues, and all of a sudden, a lot of those blues finally either got signed or they started reissuing Muddy Waters. I would get that kind of stuff, So it's 70s really, But
interesting. So, but weren't they influenced by the blues guys? So it's like I don't know, were they raised on the blues? And then
the Brits gave us Americans didn't give a shit about, like, us American white city boys and urban boys. We didn't listen to a lot of that stuff. We didn't know about it. I mean, and it took the Yardbirds and the Rolling Stones and, early Fleetwood Mac and Eric Clapton, all those bands to play these blues things. And we would go listen to the originals. And then around the 70s, there was those hybrid records like Sonny Boy Williamson and the Stones and B.B. King in London with all the younger, like Keith Richards and Eric Clapton would do these records with those blues men. And then like Bill Graham in San Francisco would put Freddie King and B.B. King and Albert King on the bill. And John Lee Hooker, I mean, he actually lived in the Bay Area here, opened a club in his last 10 years, the Boom Boom Room, that still exists across the street from the Fillmore. But yeah, it took the British. I mean, the American groups weren't doing those blues. It's funny, the American groups, like the psychedelic groups, seem to be more influenced by the folk.
What about that album that John Lee Hooker did with Canned Heat? What was that?
Yeah, that was probably what, 1970, 69, 70, 71. Yeah, Hooker and Heat. Yeah. There are some Americans, obviously the Chicago, obviously Paul Butterfield and Mike Bloomfield and Al Cooper, the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, the Chicago bands were definitely into it. I mean, Yorma from the Jefferson Airplane, Mississippi John Hurt, all that stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Joe, you like the blues?
Yeah, I actually, early into collecting, I got really into like Chicago blues stuff. So like Buddy Guy, Magic Sam, guys like that. A lot of the Delmark stuff from like the mid to late 60s. And then, and then I kind of gravitated towards like what Mazzy's talking about with like Cream and like John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, bands like that. And I liked that for a while, but it just, for me, the well kind of dried up and I really ran out of stuff that I was really into, and then I got into jazz shortly after that. So
it's no surprise it's no surprise Grant Green grabbed you.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it was for me, was like I came right off of a lot of I think connected with a lot of the real heavy guitar kind of blues licks, and then when I heard Grant Green, especially Green Street was the first Grant Green record I heard. That really helped me to kind of move into that jazz direction.
You blew a great opportunity, Joe, to show your humor when Mike said to you, "Do you like the blues?" And you should have gone, "I like the blues."
Nicole is right. Santana, when they first started, there was Santana Blues Band. Same with Steve Miller. Steve Miller was a Steve Miller Blues Band, and then they dropped the name The Blues, but they were doing bluesy rock stuff. All that stuff's great. I love that stuff.
I have a surprising amount of blues.
Yeah, and what's great about Bill Graham at the Fillmore and then Winterland and Fillmore West and East would put these blues artists on with rock art. He would put even Ravi Shankar on. He would mix things up. Aretha Franklin, Miles Davis eventually played the Fillmore. So he didn't have a lot of jazz really. But I think Miles may be the only jazz maybe there. I'm trying to think who else, what other jazz artists crossover artists, maybe, but not a lot of, aside from
I mean, in modern time, more of my time, Robert Cray. I mean, he had a top 40 song.
He had a hit, yeah.
Blues.
And then George Thorogood, obviously a white blues player, but
yeah. George Thorogood.
Yeah. It was, the Bay Area was great because then we talked about our Hooley Records in the East Bay. You had that not only recorded blues records, but a lot of Zydeco stuff, a lot of rootsy stuff, a lot of Tex-Mex and Tejana records. It was just a real fertile place to hear all this kind of mix of blues and ethnic music and Mexican music. And, that's why I like Ry Cooder so much, because he turned me on to John Estes and obviously more so Woody Guthrie and the folk stuff too. So.
Yeah, I come across Woody Guthrie because he was recorded a lot by Folkways.
Folkways, yeah.
So whenever I'm digging through those, he pops up.
During the pre-pandemic, I downloaded all Pete Seeger stuff.
Get a copy. There's been reissues. If you can't find an original, you don't need an original. But Dust Bowl Ballads is an important album. No, that was that's you
Folkways?
Just said Folkways. There's been different versions of it, but it's such a beautiful cover with. It's not a Dorothea Lange photograph. I forgot. It's literally a Dust Bowl cover, but that's an essential record of folky blues stuff. Dust Bowl Ballads. I mean, Dylan got into that, obviously.
All right, we are at a 15-minute warning, so we got Surface Noise coming up, 9:00. So he's going to get into The Freight, which is an album release. And then I'm not sure if they're going to do the traditional roundtable, but they have other stuff planned.
What is The Freight? I don't know what that is.
So it's
Chance, are you still here? Chance.
Well, I'll watch it at the top of the hour, but I don't know what it is.
So I'll just drop a link to
Is it someone we know who put it out, or just
I think it's I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Top of the hour.
Is it one of those drones that delivered records on their porch and drops it off?
Listen, Mazzy, save your questions for Chance's stream.
I can't comment on Chance's stream. I'm not allowed.
In the chat, you're blocked.
I'm kidding.
Just go in it. There's 90% of the people there are troll accounts. So just go with your.
The Blues Brothers is a big selling blues soul record.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, I don't doubt it actually, but it turned people on.
I think I'm not doubting the music is blues. Here's my thought on that.
It's more R&B.
The movie was a huge, giant hit, and it's a musical. For all intents and purposes, the Blues Brothers is a musical. People bought the soundtrack, and they did 2 albums, right?
Yeah,
2 other albums.
But then it was
they were on Saturday Night Live. I mean,
but it turned people on.
Their biggest song, the big song they did was R&B. They did the Sam and Dave song.
Yeah, and look at all the people: Aretha, Sam and Dave, Donald Duck Dunn.
But a lot of them are playing. They're
Cab Calloway. Cab Calloway's in it.
Yeah, they're playing soul music in most of that film.
Yeah, it's not a bluesy record, really.
No,
I got to rewatch that.
It's fun.
It's an excellent movie.
I think
Cab Calloway's in it.
Yeah.
Yes,
at the Minnie the Moocher at the end. It's great.
A lot of the acts in it are acting. That's like their first acting roles and stuff.
Cool. Yeah,
real musicians. Steve Cropper, Donald Duck Dunn.
The band, the Blues Brothers,
the MGs.
Band. Yeah,
the Booker T's band. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Memphis Stax Vote players, definitely.
Well, Orange Margin, you're stupid. There's no
Chicago,
way anyone would think it's a disco
after that movie, Chicago banned for years them doing like car chase scenes in Chicago because they damaged a lot of property apparently at the end of that movie.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I highly rate it's just a great movie. It's a very good movie.
I'm going to Chicago in August. So anyone in Chicago, in Chicago.
I think for a period of time too, they had set the record for the most cars destroyed in a movie.
Exactly.
Well, actually, you're talking to a movie guy, Joe. The movie that broke that record is Gone in 60 Seconds.
Well, that was later, though.
Then he did a movie called The Junk Man. And then he was making the sequel to Gone in 60 Seconds, and the guy died during the making of that film.
Dr. Robert, it was a great car chase scene. Come on.
Listen, you stick here. Dr. Robert, stick to prisoners dissecting their thumb stories. Let us handle the movies.
Mazzy,
Doc, go ahead.
I was going to say, what's going on with Rhino Hi-Fi? I haven't been being close to this series.
I'm not privy to it. I mean, the last,
you are
new ones are Wilco, and Wilco's great. I bought it. I didn't get a promo. I love that. It's really good job. I didn't buy the Stevie Nicks. I didn't buy that. I have a feeling these two issues or reissues have a tepid response. If you watched Ingrew's video this morning, he's getting some copies, even some numbered copies. He was surprised that he got Alice Cooper numbered, and I forgot what other one. He got unnumbered. He got unnumbered Black Sabbath. You know, that's great. If it doesn't sell out as the exclusive or whatever direct, they'll go to stores, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The Cars one coming out, the repressing of the Cars.
I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the weird thing. When you talk to your friends at Rhino, find this out.
You're not my friends at Rhino.
Yes, they are.
I don't talk to them that much. Yes, I don't have a phone number for anyone like
go, hey, here's a typical evening at Mazzy's. He's bored. He texts the Rhino guys, "Are you asleep?"
I don't have their numbers. I have emails, but no numbers.
So here's the deal, Mazzy. A normal person who goes with the flow would go, "Yes, Rob, I'll communicate this."
Okay. Look, here, I'm going to do a little self-promo.
In the email this morning, they had the logo for Run Out Groove. Whoever doesn't know what Run Out the Groove was, it was a company that had a great gimmick. They probably had the best gimmick out of anyone. They would let people vote on the record they would give.
It was good. It was good.
So they would every month or every whatever when they were going to put out a new record, they typically would have 3 choices, and you could vote which one they would reissue in their kind of. I don't even know if they were doing it before Tone Poets, but they would reissue their records like Tip On Jackets, Top Line, Preston RTI, Kevin Gray. In fact, I have that Curtis Mayfield, the Superfly soundtrack that they did, which is excellent. And it came with an extra record. So I thought were they always owned by Rhino? I thought they might have acquired them. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
So I thought they retired them. But in the email this morning, in the email this morning, they had the logo, and there's a Rush box set.
Well,
the
thing is, like those first 2 Monkees, those great Monkees records that Kevin Gray did were on Run Out Groove, but the third one was on Rhino. That's why I thought they totally, got rid of Run Out Groove. I'm going to do one little self promo. I'm interviewing a guy tomorrow, which I love his music, and it's not live, so I don't know when it'll be posted. But his name is David Lowery, and David Lowery was the founding member and primary writer of Camper Van Beethoven and Cracker, and he has this kind of autobiographical album out. And I adore those 2 bands. Remember, Take the Skinheads Bowling. Not even a post-punk thing, but it was used in Bowling for Columbine at the beginning of that movie. But 80s and 90s from Santa Cruz, California. And anyway, we're going to have a conversation tomorrow, which is kind of nice. So,
we're getting that crackly sound from your setup, Mazzy. You need to.
Well, crackly. That's what happens.
I think your phone. What are you broadcasting on? Your laptop or your phone?
I'm on my laptop.
I think your phone's too close to your laptop.
It's right next to it.
Right. Push it further away, and we won't hear the crackle.
Hey, I tell you, if someone says that you think Lowery is a crank, the great thing about David Lowery, he was one of the first musicians. Like, he's an activist. He really pioneered, pioneer is not the right word. he really pushed for streaming companies to pay artists better. He was involved in several lawsuits that were settled with millions and multi-millions of dollars with Pandora and Spotify to get artists paid more. He's a professor now. He still tours with Camper Van. They had like a 40th anniversary 2-show night at the Fillmore. But he teaches at he's a doctor he teaches at the University of Georgia in Atlanta.
Omnivore, my buddy at Omnivore, they reissued some Camper Van Beethoven albums.
Yeah. And then, yeah, exactly. Anyway.
All right. We are at the 5-minute mark, 5-minute warning, I should say.
Hey, Joe, did you want to show anything before we leave?
Yeah, I just had a few quick things. I jumped on today because I don't know if I'll be able to get on tomorrow. So, few things I found. One of them I know I've shared with you guys. I got a few weeks ago in Montreal, but two things I found. Well, I bought, I guess, on Discogs. This first one it's a Finnish like post-bop modal guy. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but that's what his name is Eero. Close to quartet. This one's called Labyrinth. This is one of the bigger ones. This is one of the ones that you see more often, but he had a bunch of records, 70s, 80s. His big record is called Odysseus, and it's got a picture of like a Greek like bust on the front. And that's like close to $1,000, if not more, for that. I don't know what it is about his stuff that's so like makes the stuff so rare. I don't know if it's just was low pressing quantity, but great saxophonist, again, post-bop, modal. I think all of you guys would like that, even if you're not someone that pushes it too far. His stuff is right in it. And again, he has a lot of stuff on quite a few records to check out on Discogs. There's some of the records, because most of them are pretty expensive, but he does have a bunch of his records have been re-released by Svart, SVAART Records, which is a reissue label going back the last probably 5-10 years that's done a lot of like Scandinavian, like Swedish, especially Finnish music. I think it's a Finnish label. I can't remember. It's either Finnish or Swedish, but it's an incredible reissue label that allows you to get stuff for like 10% or even, you know what I mean, less than what you would pay. So this is a nice one. Again,
what's the year of that recording?
This is 77.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you call that game? Remember that game on the cover there?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's what it's. Isn't that called?
It's
Labyrinth?
called a Labyrinth. Damn it! It's the name of the album.
Yeah, Labyrinth.
Okay,
Where are you from?
I remember the game. I used to own the game.
The
I couldn't
game's
remember.
a Labyrinth.
Also got. This is the other one I got.
Isn't there a time limit now? No wonder Mike invited me out to get.
This is Ebo Taylor is the artist, and then it's I think just so it's called TWER Naimi. I'm not sure. It's on Phillips. It's a Ghanan high life Afrobeat record from Ghana. They say that him and Fela Kuti out of Nigeria were the two that really pioneered Afrobeat, but it really wasn't until more recently that I think Ebo Taylor has become a little bit more well known. I guess I just, after finding this record, I saw that he did a tour the last few months across the U.S. for the first time, I think either ever or in a long time, but that's allowed a little bit more of a mainstream type sound. But yeah, this is just great guitar.
Is that Phillips?
African.
Is that Phillips? What label is it? Phillips?
Yeah, Phillips.
Phillips, yep, out of Ghana. And then the last one.
All right, we're quickly show it, Joe, and then we're going to end it. Everybody go over to Surface Noise.
And then I got Ted Kirsten. This is a record from Montreal. I was recorded in Montreal at this club. Live at La Tête de l'Art. Early Ted Kirsten, 1962. None of the other artists I'm familiar with, but it's a great post-bop. I think early post-bop type stuff really I think pushing even like what some of the early guys were doing with it. So this is a great one as well, Ted Curson. So.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, head over to Surface Noise. We dropped the link in the description. We'll see you all there.
Bye.
Yep. See you later.